Well, hey there, what's going on? All y'all out there in YouTube land, thank you for joining me today. I have a super special gift waiting for me, and you're going to come along with me as I open it up. Alright, so today I have in front of me Zpacks' newest solo tent, and that is called their Plexamid tent. Now this isn't just your normal Zpacks Plexamid, this is the beta version. They're testing out some thinner line locks and some thinner cordage, saving another 1.2 ounces off of the standard Plexamid. Alright, so one of the things with all kinds of backpacking gear, but especially tents and sleeping bags and puffy coats and things like that, is if you're going to dare to use a knife, you'd better be careful with it. Wow. There she blows. Oh yeah, I ordered some tent stake pouches also. But here's the package, what it looks like. Now I've got a duplex and a triplex, and I had a Solplex as well, so I'm fairly used to these to their tents. But first thing I notice is that it's very small and very compact, and also extremely light. So I'm going to take the instructions out, and then we'll put this thing on the scale and see what it weighs. All right, so we need to get this thing weighed. Let's take a look and see. That's really the moment of truth, is what's this bad boy going to cost in my backpack. You can see it right there. We're looking at 13.7 ounces. That is remarkable for a 1.5 person shelter. Now it's wintertime here. It's lots of snow outside. In fact, today is really warm, and so it's wet and slushy and muddy. So I'm not going to pitch this thing outside, but I will probably set it up here on the floor. This is how it comes. It is thinner cordage. Again, this is a beta version. It's a one that they're wanting some feedback on, wanting it tested and see what we think. So I'm gonna give this thing a whirl. And by the way, they did not pay me to do this review for them, so I'm mainly curious. So they just tried to use smaller cord and smaller plastic hardware, smaller line locks whenever they could to save some weight. And again, this is 1.2 ounces lighter than the normal Plexamid. Pretty cool. First thing I think of is that the Cuban fiber, Dyneema composite fiber, is thin. It's very thin. But I had a camouflaged version I used on my Appalachian Trail thru hike, and it held up marvelously. This is just a little thinner than that, but I believe the floor is exactly the same. And they've redesigned, or using a new bug screen as well. It's my first time feeling that, and it is, it's nice, softer and good. Feels like good stuff. Now on the Plexamid, there's only one doorway. So you have to figure out which way you want the door to face. So one of the differences between the Plexamid and the Solplex is this configuration right here. I don't know if you can see, but there's two real small carbon rods in there that give this its shape, and that allows you to only use one trekking pole versus having to use two. So I'm very excited about that. If I was on the Pacific Crest Trail and hiking up in the Sierra Mountains, I'm thinking that I wouldn't carry an ice axe, but instead I'd use something like a Black Diamond Whippet, which has the ice axe built into the handle of a trekking pole. So you've got your trekking pole and your ice axe in your hand all at the same time. So that's what I'm thinking, which would then allow me only to use one trekking pole for my tent. Alright, as you guys can obviously tell from my physique, I'm a huge weightlifter. So I stopped doing some weights, and we're going to use these to pitch this thing indoors. All right, I think it's pretty well pitched. All right, it's not the easiest thing to do, to pitch it indoors, but it is pitched. So it's not too, it's not too difficult, but it's definitely not as tight as you could get it outside. But this is the basic configuration. And first thoughts, it's very, very similar to the Solplex. Really the only difference is this back end here. You don't have a trekking pole sticking up about there with basically just a bunch of wasted space outdoors. Instead, what you have is a lot more space inside. All right, here's kind of the true tale of the amount of room you've got is how much room there is with a sleeping pad inside. Now again, these will be pulled out when I'm camping by staking them out. Right now they're not pulled out. Everything else is fairly loose, but you can see there is a lot of room. You could definitely, in a pinch, squeeze 2 people in here, bad weather or whatever. Otherwise, this thing has a ton of room for 1 person. That's perfect. That is what I wanted. Now, they give you these toggles here that you can undo and open up for more breathability. It's kind of hard to do one-handed. Let me see if I can. There it goes. So yeah, that'll allow this to drop down and allow more ventilation, or if it's real bad weather, you pull this up and you don't get any splashback. So yeah, lots of room. So there's a lot of room. I'm 5'10" or so, and there's a lot of room for my head. Yeah, you could just about fit another sleeping pad in here. It'd be tight, but you could just about do it. There's that much room. So you can definitely put your gear in the back, sleeping bag, backpack, or whatever you want. I'm digging it. Another thing I noticed, they give you extra height on the bathtub floor. None of my other Plex tents have as high of a bathtub floor. So it looks like they've gotten some feedback on splashback, or getting some splash inside the tent. And they've tried to correct that with higher bathtubs. So all in all, I'm going to give this thing definitely a thumbs up. Can't wait to put it to use out on the trail. If you haven't done it, I'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching today. And let me know down below in the comments if you have any questions or thoughts about the Zpacks Plexamid. Either way, take care and God bless. Gorgeous. So just stopped and got a little drink from the creek there, and look at the beautiful waterfall going across the bridge. Oh, what a great place to swim. Down there. Beautiful.